Sharing the gospel should be simple and quite doable for everybody. But there's one problem. Well, there's a lot of problems, but they usually revolve around one problem: us. The problem is us. We don't know, where to start. We don't know what to do. We don't have any kind of simple plan. We've tried, but it's not really working, or we're sort of figuring it out, but it's too time consuming. It's too frustrating. You don't know all the answers. There's too much information, or maybe I'm just leaving it up to God, because if He wants to save them, He'll save them. Okay, so this little series is about the harvest, and it's about evangelism, because Jesus said that the harvest is ripe, and we should be praying for more laborers in the field. But the thing is, when we're praying for more laborers in the field, we should realize that we actually need to be an answer to our own prayer. Now, let me just start with a little simple story. I once read about a man who got, saved. He gave his life to Jesus. He just got really fired up. I knew a guy like this, actually, a guy who used to carry a really massive big black Bible carried into Smitty's, and he'd be loud and obnoxious about his faith, and he'd be really nice to most everybody, but sometimes he wasn't even nice. He would just be, where am I Christian? And I would just be so grieved by it, till the Lord told me to read Romans 14, and I need to just shut up. It's his kid, not mine. He'll look after it, and he did. But this fella I read about, he was like that. He called himself a shark, and he would be like just going after anybody and everybody with the gospel. He'd be like a shark, and he would carry his Bible. He'd carry tracts, and he would stick tracts underneath the toilet paper roll, like tuck them in there so people roll the toilet paper and be like dropping them. What the? And he said it just never really worked. Just didn't really produce fruit. And so he kind of got discouraged and began to kind of just mope around and be like a bottom dweller guppy and watch the world sort of swim by and not really do anything because he was discouraged. And then he read the parable of the sower and the seeds, and where the sower went out to seed. Jesus told the story. So to sow the seed, and there was 4 different kinds of soils, and there was a resistant soil, there's a hard soil, there was a rocky soil, there's shallow soil, and there was the good soil, and this represented the hearts of mankind. And he realized that the only responsibility that this sower had was to sow the seed, just happily sow the seed, knowing that 3 out of 4 people aren't going to be responding to you. 3 out of 4 people aren't going to listen. 3 out of 4 people are going to be resistant. So he said, I just began to sow seed happily. And I sort of pictured myself like a dolphin, happily swimming along, smile on my face, sowing the seed wherever it would, dashing through the water, so to speak, jumping now and for time. But from that point on, he was just determined to be not a shark, not a guppy, but a smiley dolphin, sowing seeds wherever he went, and let the Lord give the growing, give the increase. And so the response was, like he said, the result was not his responsibility. The responsibility was just sow the seed and do so with gentleness and respect. Peter wrote about this in 1 Peter 3:15 when he said this: always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that you have, and do so with gentleness and respect. That's the key. Gentleness and respect. We can all do this. We can all share our story. We can all talk about Jesus. It's not out of bounds. It's not breaking any rules. Just talk about your best friend and see how people will respond. 3 out of 4 might resist you, but they'll be the one who goes, thank you. I really needed that. Let's share Jesus today.